Kovacic with the SDSO. I had a quick question. As far as 72-hour investigative holds go, those have to be approved by you guys, correct? We just get 24 from our command? Okay, and you guys just need like a small statement of further PC of why we're asking for the further time then? Okay, cool. I'll get that handled right now. We have somebody who's in on 24 who's coming up on that hour mark, and we'd like to extend. So I'll get it in the proper channels. Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate your time.
Can you ask him what time or?
Oh, all right. Yeah, sorry, he hung up on me as you're saying that. What'd you say?
No, you're fine. I just need to know what channel I'm submitting that to.
He said any of the channels, but when I look in here, there's actually it's the same as Warren extension. It's the one that I can pretty sure. For context, I'm pretty sure he means the yeah. Okay, I see it. It's where all the hold notifications are and stuff too. That channel.
Do we want to subpoena Nico first, request delayed notice, and then get Nico in a room and talk to him, or do we want to? What are you thinking?
We should request the hold right now because I'm pretty sure his hold is actually already up or very close to it. If it's not,
okay. Let me take a look.
He's not. Let me get a hold of DOC to make sure he's not awake. DOC from PD. Oh, hello, everyone. It's nice to hear all of you. Was looking to see if Mr. Caleb Rush is awake.
We got 10 minutes, dog. Fuck.
10-4. Well, I'll see if he's awake. 10 minutes is 10 minutes. Judge Holden's like kind of waiting for it, I believe, from what it sounds like. So
what?
It'll be Caleb Rush. Kaleb is the first. Copy. He's currently on a 24-hour hold, and he's going to be extended, most likely. If he does wake up, could you just 3-on-1 that, and I will be back on the radio.
Oh, shit.
Okay, I've got DOC keeping an eye out for him, and we'll just have to keep an eye on 3-on-1s if he wakes up. Poor Bison. Lost his daughter.
Yeah, this is rough. Does he need it like in a report?
No, it needs to be like a quick paragraph, like a paragraph, along with why you want. You know, it's just explaining the further hold, like an explanation to it.
I gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying to get that written up real quick.
Get that together, or you got okay. You got
yeah. So in the write up, do you want me to just? What do you think a good articulation is for this?
I would articulate that after receiving Mr. Rush's phone subpoena results, we have reason to believe that there may be further evidence to be found that would implicate first-degree murder, possible first-degree murder charges, and that we need further time to investigate a possible accomplice, which is, you can put the name if you want.
I'm going to put the photos in two of the text messages.
Yeah, that's fine.
And the photo of what that links to.
Yeah, and make it clear that we plan on subpoenaing that person and having this wrapped up within this 72-hour window and having the charges decided. So that's why we need it.
Okay.
I feel like if we can articulate like our timeline to them or our expectation of our own timeline, it's a lot better. They realize that we're not just like throwing shit at the wall, you know?
And on having
also Brian went to go meet with Andy Jones right now, like before I came to talk to you.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, but I don't think it had to do with this. She called him, and I don't know. He's still there, I believe, because he's at the fire tower. He is aware that you and I are working this. He is aware that I have all the context. So I told him if that homicide comes up at all, please. And of course, he said, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So I don't think she wanted to talk to him about that though. I think it's about mayoral stuff, probably budget stuff, and what she wants the MCU help with and all that. You know.
I gotcha. So right now what I have is after receiving Mr. Rush's phone records, I'm gonna say UPD. The UPD has reason to believe. Give me a second.
Yep.
The UPD has reason to believe there may be evidence of first-degree murder opposed to second-degree murder based on Rush's subpoena. Both F. Dugong and Luka Kovacic intend on having the subpoena to the other suspect submitted by tonight. I'm going to just add photos in real quick of the timeline and the photo of what this links to.
Perfect. Not gonna lie, this one feels, it's a murder, so they never feel good. But from our side as investigators, this one feels good. We did our due diligence here. We really got justice for Manny either way.
We did. We did.
And I know a confession makes it a lot easier. I get that, but those are rare. So the fact that we even were able to extract that, record it, test it, you know, it's, yeah. This is one of those ones of why you become a detective kind of cases, you know.
Not to argue any good light to Andy out of all this, because obviously she still kind of knew about this at some point. I'm kind of glad that she was able to talk Kleb into this.
I was going to say, here's the thing about that. Yeah, maybe she knew a little bit earlier than she told us. Maybe there were some days there where she had to debate emotionally if she was going to do what she did and give one of her probably best friends to the police, knowing that he may never see the light of day outside of a cell again, right? That's a hard decision to make.
It is.
And the fact that she did it anyway, and that she followed through, and that she made him hold himself, accountable and stuff. I don't want to sound like I have bias as an investigator, but I'm really kind of shutting you'd have to have some pretty fucking hard evidence to make me want to push anything on Andy. And it's not because she's the mayor. She could have lost the election. I'd still be saying that right now. I'm not going to punish people who come and have the actual killer. Look, I have the guy who put the gun to the back of Manny's head and pulled the trigger, and he admitted it. So anything else outside of this, I'm not saying it's irrelevant, but it's details. I've got the murderer, and I've got him in our custody with his confession, and that's due to Ant. So there's no reason to go after her or punish her for that. It would be stupid. That's how we don't get help in the future.
The thing is, the most we would get out of that is felony obstruction of justice, and God's honest, that is such a small charge. I don't give a shit.
I would even argue that due to the fact that she ended up having him turn himself in, that waives the felony obstruction of justice because she physically handed in the murderer.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing. Here's the only thing where I change my mind on this. I find out that she set up Kleb as the fall guy. That would change my entire prerogative on it.
Yes.
But I really don't think she did. I really, really don't. I think if she did that, he would have been in our custody the day after the murder or the day of. They wouldn't have sat there and debated it. I really, truly think that's why. Also, honestly, even with the Nico stuff, I don't know if we're gonna find that conspiracy for first, because I don't know if these people really wanted this guy dead. I don't think they wanted this guy to die.
I never saw the HOA as the kind of group to. Yeah, I never saw the group as a group of people who wanted to, be bloodbath killers. But I could be wrong. I mean, right now what we have is, like you said, we have the confession. I think that's the most important part.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. The rare time that the HOA does become bloodbath killers is when you try to take one of their own. So that's another reason I'm very happy that she had him turn himself in, because, they don't do much. They're not on our radar as far as violence goes, but I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. I don't want to cut you off. Check out what I emailed you real quick. Does that look okay? Does that information look good enough for maybe the approval?
Yes. Yeah, that looks amazing. I can't see how this wouldn't be. Yep. Just drop that in, and I'm sure, he'll get to it right away.
Okay. Let me call him real quick and just make sure that I do this on his dime so that,
Yeah. Because, you technically have more channels you could put it into, so I don't know.
Hello.
Hello, Your Honor. This is Sergeant Flap Dugong. You just spoke to, I believe, Detective Kovacic before?
Yes.
Awesome. I have a very brief write-up with a couple photos attached to it of the reason for the 72 extension. What channel would you like that submitted to?
I think it's just the main one, the department one.
The UPD DOC
DOJ one.
Okay. Do you want me to tag?
Just tag judge and ask about an extension on a hold.
Okay. I will go ahead and submit that right now and follow through from there.
All right. Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
All right. Great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay.
Who's Raphael Nefarious and why does he need to be questioned? Oh, I see it now.
What's up, Honor? How you doing? HOA watcher and seeing all the investigation stuff is a nice change of pace. Don't really watch cop POV much, but this is great. Well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you, thank you. We're trying to be fair and make this enjoyable. You know what I mean? And honestly, I have a huge shout out to Builders, because Builders is a fucking legend, dude. I love that motherfucker.
I have no idea why they wanted him questioned. I can't find anything in here why Nefarious would want to be questioned.
Thank you guys for all the love and all the support from all this. I'm having fun with it. I know a lot of people want me to like just fucking go after everyone and have a bloodbath with this, but there's too many people involved. We have to be like, you know what I mean? There's only so much we can do, and because we're on a hold right now, we are given in a lot of time. We have to go off of the most likely person to have some kind of involvement with this. So yeah, we could probably go after 4 people here, but with the time frame we have, we're going after the people who we kind of believe are.
Oh, gotcha. Real quick, anything pique your brain when I say Raphael Nefarious or why we need to question him? Okay, yeah, I found the report for that. Okay, he needs to be questioned about that. I'll send one of the strike team people over and brief them on it. I just wasn't sure. Because he was processed on it. That's why I'm asking. Okay, yeah, because I saw the report for that and some other report about him shooting a silenced pistol, but that was all processed too. So I just didn't. There was nothing like outstanding on my radar I could see. All right.
You're having Builder's side when it all went down.
What do you think? You should just have to tell the IC to cut him loose. Or do you want me to have a strike
fun.
team
I enjoy this stuff.
If he knows what the context is.
I want to be clear about this with people. I know everyone's probably gonna be wondering, well, why not go after fucking Andy? Why not shake her down? Why not shake after Jesus? Why not? We have 3 days.
Is he around?
If we even get the approval for this, which we are submitting for right
I'll
now.
send an email. All right. All right. Sounds good, Bundy. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay.
Check the UPD DOJ channel and just let me know. I mean, I have that. I'm holding off on the photos unless they need them. I want to make sure that I'm not like overdoing it in that channel. I've just put a note down there saying if photos would suffice as evidence to let me know. But
yeah.
But yeah, we're not trying to go after fucking everybody. We can't, right? Because the thing is that like Luca is saying, I think Flop and Luca both agree that if Andy was the one to encourage Kleb to come in, unless Andy has somewhere stated between
this chick lied to me.
Between
This one from Maldini's.
Nico
I asked her a name the other day
stating
when
to
I got food
murder,
over there,
you know,
and she said her name
Manny,
was
then
Monica.
that's different.
Shola.
But
Weavert.
we're going off of what we have right now in the very short amount of time that we have.
I have
So
a uniform on when I meet him.
I was just wondering if you asked if she'd
All right,
come in willingly as well. We have no reason to question her.
I think that's pretty much the next step here is that, and then the subpoena, which I can cook up.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it. If you want to, whichever you would prefer. I have an open block of time tonight right now to do the subpoena. I don't think I have anything else going on unless Brian
You want the
has
truth?
something pressing. What's up?
I want to wait to make sure that this gets approved before we follow through. Because if we go through the subpoena, and they deny this for whatever reason, not to say that they would, but if they do, then I say we go for the second and we still follow through with the other evidence that we have, because it wouldn't be double jeopardy, because it would be on Nico. And if we can articulate first on Nico, then we would just have to go back and change second to first for Kleb. If we can't get the 24-hour or the 72 approval here, which I don't see why we wouldn't.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
Did you see what I submitted?
Yeah, I looked at it. It looks great.
Okay.
I don't think they're. I bet they don't ask for the photos. I bet they just say yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to let them know that I do have that on retainer if they need like that shot out real quick.
I think what it is the 72 full 72 is technically legal, like civil rights wise, from the get-go, but the judges want to keep a control on it so it's not being wielded as 72 every time, and I like that. That's good. It should be a little gate kept, because otherwise everyone's going to sit in prison on a 72 and rot when they don't need to be there for longer than like 12 to 24 hours probably.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, you know, it's always better, like you said last night, always better to be professional, always better to you know, I mean, I guess sometimes overdoing it can be bad, like readability wise and stuff. Some of the DOJ has complained about that in the beginning. They're saying like some of the subpoenas are so wordy that we should just press the fucking charges and not bother with the subpoena, because we had so much PC and statements. But it's always good to, I don't know, I've always figured out here that explaining yourself and giving people context seems to make my life go so much easier on duty. Like I get very few phone calls of what the fuck is this kind of thing, because I always provide like the what the fuck with it, you know?
Yeah, I think what we have right now is, and like you said, from a detective standpoint, I know I'm not really like in MCU anymore, but I don't look at my step away from MCU as like a step back from being able to do investigations. This was very put simply a way for me to, you know, put the time in where I can, and right now I'm able to put the time in for this because this was kind of handed to us. And for a murder charge, this needs to, you know, this needs some kind of priority. But overall, in how you and I have followed through, these are all the reasons I wanted to join SCU. So I'm happy with the way that this is going so far.
Damn it, Fop, why did you have to be so good and get sergeant?
I know, it's unbelievable. It's unreal.
Yeah, damn it.
It's fine.
I'm real happy for you.
I appreciate it, man.
Couldn't have a better one, honestly. But it does suck that we lost you as a detective, man.
I
Not
know.
really. You know, we didn't though, because you're still here in these trenches with us. You're just, you got to share the love a little more. You just can't be as focused.
Yeah, I would love to devote my time to cases, but realistically, I need to devote my time to other things. This obviously needs some devotion to time, and I have no problem, you know, sticking my hands into something like a murder. It just comes down to, you know, how much time am I able to actually devote to the division? And unfortunately, right now, while I learn sergeant stuff and get into my own habit of things, I mean, Brian's offered me a spot. If I ever want in, which I appreciate, it'll just be a matter of finding that time. And I'm sure down the road I will find my time.
Yeah, I agree. I think that and you never know how what the outlook on the actual shift and the actual like patrol side of things is going to look like too. There may become, you know, a time when you have a lot more support when it comes to command and stuff, you know, and you may have a lot more time. But these kind of cases right here, I mean, I still feel like you're going to pick up these kind of cases that'll be closed out in a week or whatever. Like no matter what, you're always going to grab a homicide. You know what I mean? If you need to. And not all the sergeants and not all the command do that though. And I get it. Some of them just can't. They can't balance all that. Like it's a lot. They have a lot. Yeah.
I will say though, blooding out is, I mean, my CVPI's name is literally Blood Out. That's
yeah,
the
you have
plate.
an interest in this, huh?
I love this shit. This is everything. I like knowing the personal connections between Manny and the rest of HOA as much as I care about the interest between Kleb and Nico, because those are the pieces, those are the puzzle pieces that are going to help articulate first or second.
So I was sitting in the stall at MRPD earlier, you know, just doing my business, and this idea hit my head. You know, it was one of those, it was a bathroom idea. It was great though. So we have all these case files, and I know Nakota and Stonefinger were
Chad, do you guys have any
into,
questions about the investigation?
like starting up like kind of recon on gangs again for the department in general. I think we should open up not a case file, but files for each known gang that has like cases open against them, like a meta file, if you will, of like, what is this gang up to? Oh, look, they're involved in attacking Rooster's Rest. They're involved in trafficking weapons. They're involved in a front business and a clean warehouse. They're involved. You know what I'm saying? Like to kind of.
It would be interesting to do that, because then you could turn around and say, okay, well, you know.
Brian's calling me. Hold on, I got
go for
this one. Hey, what's up, sir?
Get your bets in. It's gonna roll high though.
Wait. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're talking about Nakota's warrant. Sorry, I didn't have any context. You just kind of came into with it saying night search. I didn't hear anything. Yeah.
Gonna roll high, chat. I promise. Copium.
Yeah.
Hope it rolls high.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll roll high. I promise. I'm a expert. It's gonna roll high. It's definitely gonna roll high.
Yeah, and you know, like the subpoenas we have where people consent, or it's like a dead person, so it's pretty much an automatic, you know, no matter what. I think we should have the strike team members that or like the very brand new probationary detectives doing those too. You know what I mean? The ones that they really can't. It's like a softball, but just to get in the habit of like using, you know, legal terms and writing judicial paperwork, that kind of thing, and what this form looks like and all that. So. I also had a huge idea right now about some gang stuff, like gangs in general, and how our intel and recon on gangs could work, but I'll tell you about it later. I'm up in Polito talking to FOP about that homicide. We're getting it buttoned down. We just requested an extension and stuff. It's not an MCU case. It's that Manny McDaniel's homicide, but yeah. No, I have time. We're wrapping up the conversation now, but I'll probably head back down that way once we're done. All right. Bye-bye. All right. Sorry, I got to look at this warrant that Nakota wrote as well.
You're fine. I haven't heard anything back from a judge. I'm hoping that we get this. Hey, I found the information.
Wait, what?
Remember I said that Tessa just texted me and said Clevin Bones would have been texting a lot during Survivor and saying stuff about taking people out. Which, yep.
Okay, now
Yep.
I get. Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, should we not?
We're skipping over those. I'm prioritizing everything after Survivor, and specifically what's highlighted in blue is sort of when things started.
The Gunnet thing has nothing to do with Survivor. We can agree on that, right?
No, it does not. Survivor happened way before this.
Okay. That gives me a lot more context to why Bones was talking to Clev so much. Yeah. I say the next step is just waiting on the DOJ to approve that hold. I'm sure Holden's either doing that or looking at it or has someone else doing it. He's aware of it from both of us.
Do we need Club to be around to push and change the thing?
No, I think you alter. Hold on. Yeah, you hold alter. You put in the hold alter form, and you use his CID.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
So I'm gonna warn you. The last time I went to do this, somehow I wound up giving my prisoner like 220 million months. Can you just speak with someone else in command? See if you can get more clarification on that form.
I'm calling
Yeah, I when I went to use it, they kicked it back to me with some funky results, and then we ended up having to like amend. So I would just
Yeah, I'll bring this up with. Actually, I'll just bring this up with command chat real quick and see what anyone has to say.
The issue is, oh shit, we may have one issue. It expired, and even if he's not awake, it will tell you that he's not on a hold now. So you would need to, yeah, he's gonna have to wake up.
Here's a question for a judge. Since we submitted this before the 24 hours was up, is there a grace period for the approval or denial?
It's not so much a grace period. In the eyes of the law, he's still on his hold because we requested it before the time was up. So he's still on like a hold. Yeah, there's a grace period. The issue is like at the prison with the checkout system, there's not a grace period. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it'll be a matter of just letting him know, like, hey, you know,
your hold was
yeah.
I highly doubt he's gonna get out, even if he does, right? Like if DOC it slips through the fingers and he goes, "Oh, my hold's up, and they didn't tell me I have to stay," and he walks out. If I call him and say, "Hey, you know, like it got caught up in like the timing of it got caught up right at the end of your hold. You're actually gonna be staying there a little bit longer." I am pretty sure he would surrender himself again.
Probably.
I can't see. I mean, if he doesn't, he's just shooting himself in the foot anyway, because that's what Simon Riley did. It fucked him over. So.
Yep.
I need to look over this warrant from Dakota, and I need to get it signed and stuff.
I got Bundy calling me too.
Roll out.
Yeah, go for it.
Do your thing.
I'm gonna step out of the room. I'm gonna take this call. If you need anything from me, you let me know. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hey, what's up, Bundy?
Hey, I was just doing a check-in, seeing if you needed anything from me.
No, I don't think so. I just submitted a 72-hour request for. Actually, I do have a question for you that maybe you'll be able to answer a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I submitted a 72-hour request to the judges for Kleb. 10 minutes before his 24 hours expiring. Is there a, for lack of a better term, a grace period where, by the letter of the law, if it was approved, he would still be on his hold?
Wait, so you put him in on the 24, and then 10 minutes before it expired, you reached out. You submitted the 72 request?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna get out, dog.
Probably. Which is, I mean, yeah. I'm waiting to figure out if a judge is gonna approve this. I don't think Kleb's gonna go anywhere. He literally confessed to a murder.
Yeah.
And also gave up 60 days of his records, but overall, I don't think there's gonna be that much of a problem. I think Kleb's not running from this. He wouldn't. He came to us, so.
Yeah. I would wait for the DOJ extension on things. If Kleb wants to continue to sit in Bolingbrook, he can do so. But the judges have been very adamant with us. For instance, when we caught the individuals who were responsible for Rose's murder, they were originally put in on 72-hour holds.
Mm-hmm.
Because we literally caught them red-handed in the act. They were shot down during the same shootout. And there was still confusion there. As a police department, we can maximally do the 24 hours, and then we have to have the judicial approval for anything beyond that. So, in the event that he does leave Bolingbrook, what you're going to want to do is put out an apprehension warrant on him, and by the sounds of things, just call him and have him turn himself in once you get the HUD approval.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, the other thing that I was going to ask, honestly, Command about, the hold alter, is the hold alter on our phone fucked? I guess Luca had a problem with doing that to somebody at one point, and it sent them in for like 221 million months or something by accident.
It should be additive, is what it is. So it's
okay.
not. It's working as intended. Just a lot of people don't understand how it's intended. What it does is it adds however much you put onto their sentence.
Okay, understood.
So it doesn't actually alter anything, which is why it's confusing. So if, for instance, if somebody is on a 24-hour hold and they have 1 hour left, and then you alter them to 24, they will be on a 25-hour hold.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Kleb would have just had his time run out. We put in just a brief description talking about it. I've never actually done a 72-hour hold on anybody. We had this weird run-in with this subpoena where the text before Manny, who was killed by Kleb, the text before Kleb asked Manny to meet up with, as he stated, everyone is here. The leader of the HOA sent Kleb a video titled Gun It, and it was a 30-second ad of a guy shooting animals, and it was just this real, like, American-ass video. But I'm looking at this, and I said, you know, the timing of the leader of the HOA sending that, and then within the hour, presumably Manny was shot in the back of the head 3 times. We need to make sure Nico had no involvement in this.
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
Yeah, so currently waiting on that. But outside of that, Ranger-related stuff, nothing really going on from my end so far. Just kind of focusing on this homicide with the HOA. And I think that's about it. I want to talk to Tessa eventually, but it looks like she's riding with Juno, so...
Yeah, she's rolling with Juno. Bison also wanted to ride with her. I never get to ride with our game warden because Bison and Juno always are in her car.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. That.
How've things been with you? You been good? Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Helping Bauer with this case pertaining to Valentine and the whole Simon Riley thing, and yeah. But all right, well, I'm getting ready to head to bed. I just wanted to do a general call and check in, and I'm glad I did because I got to answer questions.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Bundy. I appreciate it. Answering things that honestly I've never had to do an SCU, so things that are actually good to know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Have a good night.
Yeah, night, Flop.
Good old Bundy. What's up, Athena? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Chat, last call. Any other questions about the investigation? Ask or forever hold your peace. Hey, what's up, David? I'm doing well, thank you. Hell yeah. Thank you for the brand new sub, by the way, earlier.
Right.
I do appreciate you guys.
That's put out any response yet? I didn't look when I was talking to Brian.
No. Bundy did state, though, he's like, yeah, dog, he gonna get out. So if he does, that's fine. We could just call and tell him. And if not, we just got to get him on an apprehension, which I don't think he's gonna run from it. He'd be really dumb to, based on what we have.
I think his own people would come and make him turn himself in again, because I think that's what they want. So,
bro, I'll just call Andy.
yeah, be like, hey,
Andy,
Kleb needs to come back to us.
Put this bitch in cuffs. She'll fucking drag him in.
She will too.
Yeah, she'll drag him in with, by his ear and be like, here he
Dead
is.
or alive.
Here's the motherfucker.
Bring him in hog-tied like old West days and flop him up on the counter. There you go.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I think we're good. We'll wait for the approval. As soon as I get the green light, I'll email you. And if you want to just bang that out, that'll be a really easy one to kind of tie in. Just pretty much take everything you have from the previous subpoena, the case that we have, and... Oh, hi Tessa.
Hello, I am checking in.
Well, we had a unfortunate discovery. I guess we'll call it unfortunate or potentially good discovery, depending on how you look at it. TLDR, the text before Manny and Kleb had a conversation with some back and forth. Nico Canto, who apparently runs the HOA, question mark, or has some leadership in the HOA, sent Club a text with a video titled, let me get this verbatim. Gun it. And it is a 30-second ad from the Sportsman channel of a guy shooting a bunch of animals. Based on the title and everything, and the immediate follow-up text after that was the text between Manny and Kleb, and then going from there leads us to believe that there could have been potentially articulation for first.
Pardon me for 1 second.
You're fine. We submitted a 72-hour investigative hold request for Kleb. I'm waiting for the judge approval on that, to just let them know, hey, we have something that we just need to, because we need to subpoena Nico and make sure Nico doesn't have any involvement. And as long as Nico doesn't, or there's no text between Nico and other members of the HOA about maybe the premeditation for Manny, I think we're still on the idea for second.
Okay.
You sound confused or in question?
Could I see the video?
Sure.
Or I guess the subpoena, maybe.
There you go. If you go all the way to the bottom, because you're right, all that Survivor stuff came up, and a lot of that was confusing. All the way at the bottom where it is highlighted blue is the timeline that we have with the contact with Manny and where everything started. All right.
All right. Sorry about that.
All good.
Did you get clarification on the altering a hold thing or no?
Yeah, apparently Bundy said people don't understand how it works, and it adds to the current time of hold. So if he was in for a 24-hour and there was an hour left and you got another 24-hour hold, it would be 25.
Makes sense.
So it sounds like it should work, but since Kleb is technically past his 24 at this point, his hold's over. So I don't think that there would be any altering of his hold. We would just have to actually manually hold him again if this gets approved. Now, Luca, if anything for Nico, I'm thinking at most a 48-hour subpoena. I don't think we need to go very far with this, unless you want to give it the statute of Manny's first contact, which we could.
I would give it...
I'm thinking anywhere between 48 and 72 personally, but...
Yeah, something like that. But let me think, when was the last phone calls that Manny had really gotten on his phone were on the 1st. So from the 1st to the 4th, yeah, like 72 hours.
Okay.
I'd say from August 1st to his death, that would be relevant. And I think that's like 3 to 4 days. So yeah, something like that. Because that's when he took, like, it seemed like he was in town around like the end of July, but like, or middle July. And then he like probably went back out. I mentioned there's something about like Russian family or something. Maybe he, went and visited or whatever. I don't know. He seemed like he was gone for about a week in between again, and then came back like around the 1st of August. And then this is when it all went down. So I'd say 1st of August and then to his death.
I gotcha.
I can also rewatch that. That tape here I have.
So, what's the articulation for a subpoena on Nico?
So shortly before the meeting happens with Kleb, the meeting that Kleb admitted to, killing Manny in, Nico sent like a link to a video in a text message. And the title of the video, there's no other context around it, why he sent them this random, it's like an advertising segment for a TV show on some sportsman's channel. So it's like very irrelevant context-wise, except the title of the video is "Gun It" in all caps. And then after that, that's when Kleb reaches out to Manny to arrange the meeting, or just reaches out to him in general.
The timing of it grows concern. It could be unrelated. We don't really want to dig too far, because even if we get the approval for the 72, what we're looking for right now is to make sure that we are dead set on second and that we're not dealing with first.
Yeah, that there wasn't some sort of communication between others before Nico was or Kleb, like that there was no other sort of conversations or anything leading to this, or decisions made in Nico's community with the other members of the HOA, I guess, to get rid of Manny or do something to him.
Luca, quick question.
Yeah.
Do you know how to triangulate these cell towers at all?
What was?
You have to submit that.
You have to send it to Jenny.
Okay.
So what was the timeline between him sending this video to Kleb and Kleb meeting with Manny?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
'Cause I don't see times on this.
I believe there are times in the text. The strand of numbers there. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't see the times.
I'm having a hard time figuring. So the 169, and then the span of numbers after, I believe is the date. I have no idea. We used to just have them dated, and the new way that these come out, I still am having a hard time figuring out how we're supposed to pull the dates from that.
Okay, because if it was earlier in the day, I do know that Kleb and Andy were hunting.
So that would give us contact.
I don't know if Nico was involved in the hunting, but Kleb did get a warrant that day for poaching.
Damn it,
from
Kleb.
Bundy. So that, I mean, for me, that's what that makes me think of. I'm not really jumping to.
We didn't have any context behind that, so
that's fair.
Yeah. It's pretty ominous when all that we're looking at is a homicide and then a video that says gun it. You know what I mean?
The leader of the HOA saying gun it.
To see if maybe it was from earlier in the day, because that was when they were hunting.
It makes much more sense when you say that he had a warrant that day for poaching. It could have
killing a
literally just
mountain
been like
lion.
a haha, this is you, look at you.
Let me find the report. It was Bundy had it up.
They're probably giving him a hard time about getting caught poaching and being, a sportsman or whatever. It makes so much more context with that.
Fled
So.
from it.
I'm gonna ask.
Fled from Bundy.
I'm gonna call
I
Brian
would flee too.
and ask him real quick. Unless if you don't know how to pull the dates, Luca, do you want me to ask Brian real quick?
Pull the what?
The dates from the text messages.
I can format them out real quick if that's what you need. What are you working with data wise? Because it should have like timestamped. Oh, are you seeing like the timestamp code? Is that what you mean? How to decode that into like an actual time? Yeah, it's hold on, I'll email you the tool to do that.
Yeah, it's 88826 is the report. There's about 6 hours of difference between the death and that incident.
You take the time code and you put it in the top of that tool. And
Gotcha.
It'll give you like a. I know it's yeah. Okay, so Tessa, I think that is definitely the context of what you just gave us. Then
I
so
will
that makes
say
much
though.
more sense.
I will say though, the other part missing out too is during the interrogation or at some point, Luca, you were stating that Nico slapped the phone out of Kleb's hand.
Yes, in the interview, and I have that on recording. I asked him, who was it that slapped the phone out of or away from your face or whatever, when he went to admittedly contact Tessa to confess the first time, and he said it was Nico that slapped the phone out of his hand. I'll review the interview one more time, but I'm positive that's what came out of his mouth. So I will say, with the context of the gun thing being removed, though, even that one detail, like it doesn't lean towards first. Then it goes back to second.
Yes.
And I think at worst, again, I don't know if we're gonna wind up doing a subpoena on Nico now, because at worst, that subpoena would prove evidence of like felony obstruction, probably.
Which we've already talked about. It would be more of a headache to go after everybody for felony obstruction. Yeah.
He was surrendered by. Yeah, I don't. Unless the game warden disagrees here, I don't think that Nico should get charged. We shouldn't go out of our way to try and just get a felony obstruction of justice charge on him just for slapping the phone. It's an emotional moment. I don't think they probably intended on killing this guy. They did, and he probably was like, out of in a weird way, a protective measure, saying, no, think about what you're doing, bro. You can't admit to murder. They'll kill you or whatever. They'll put you to death. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like I said, unless the game warden disagrees with me, I don't see the need to like pump a charge on this guy. I was more interested when I saw a gun it video and I didn't have context. That seemed like it was like almost like an order to get rid of this guy.
Yeah, that's how I saw it. And after what you told me about him slapping the phone out of Kleb's hand raised question and concern. Tessa, do you think based on the time that I forwarded you there real quick from the conversion, that lines up? I think it does. And I will...
It lines up with what?
The hunting. The unlawful take. It looks like August 3rd was when it happened. So it would make sense that... I forwarded you the conversion.
Ooh, sorry, Bob. I was trying to reach for my tab.
It's okay. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm willing to just call it here if we can say that, like, because that makes sense. Right? Unless you still want to go after the question as to why the phone was slapped out of his hand. That is still something we can follow through with if you think it's needed. I just need to know now to let the judges know, hey, based on further information that we've discovered, we are retracting the request for the hold.
I mean, I don't want to intervene with what you guys have as your gut feeling. I think that this one you should go with what you're wanting to do. So I'll leave it up to you to make that call. I really don't want to influence. I just thought you guys should have that context.
No, that's actually really helpful. I'm going to be honest with you, Tessa, without the context, it sounds a lot worse than it probably is what I'm understanding.
So the time you sent me was when the hunting happened, right? When the text happened?
Yes.
Can you send me the time that the Manny text happened?
Yes.
Like right after that? Because if it was around 6-ish hours between, I think that would probably give you a pretty decent answer. But again, I really think you guys, if you want to, you should go with your guts. I don't want to...
No, our gut was we had no context.
It was an hour.
And we were kind of ballparking everything around about what it could be. And we came to the conclusion that too ominous in a homicide trial to have someone without any context send a message. But with the time of frame being brought in, which I'll be honest, do we even really consider the time frame? We knew it was the same day, but do we consider the hourly time frame? We did not. Not really. I didn't in my head.
No, I honestly didn't. All I know is that the conversation that between Manny and Kleb happened the same day as we found the body, and the only time frame that we actually worked off of was how long rigor mortis was set in roughly. That was the only time frame we actually worked around, which I do not think under any circumstance is sloppy, considering we didn't need to look at the time frame with the conviction and the admittance from Kleb. I think the oversight on that, to say, jokes aside, hindsight is 2020. We still got what we wanted. It's just expanding from there is where we should gather a timeline now. Just so it's clear, the text that happened between the Manny text and the text from Nico was an hour, literally like on the dot.
Okay.
It was 1:06 a.m. that the text from Nico happened, and it was 2:06 a.m. when Manny texted Kleb. What are you thinking, Luca?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to add. I feel bad, but I don't have much to add to that. I think that, yeah.
I mean, if you think that's good enough, I mean, I'm willing to retract the hold right now. I just need to know before the judges have any say in it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of a you decision because, you know, but yeah, I definitely think you should, retract it back. I don't, with the context, it definitely takes the timeline back down. I think it'll, because the whole thing was it extended the timeline of the investigation because we thought we were going to have to wait upon a subpoena and its results before we could clear it from 1 or 2. But now with the context of clearing what we just saw, like we said, at best, it's probably murder 2 on his side. And I shouldn't say at best, at worst, it's probably murder 2 on his side. And like, if we wanted to, felony obstruction on Nico, but I don't see us doing that. So
I don't think it's worth it. We agreed that we weren't going to start headhunting for felony obstruction for everybody.
No,
too much.
I'm just convinced with making sure that Manny gets justice and that his murderer is put in jail. And even if it was unintended, and I have nothing against Mr. Rush either. I don't want to see the guy suffer anything. I think he's suffering enough from shooting his uncle.
I'm retracting it just off the fact that the warrant was written and the report was written. Here, get this. So the text from Nico was at 1:06 a.m. The warrant was written at 12:49 a.m.
Okay, so that was like 15 minutes after?
I think that's what I'm getting at here.
So that definitely tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be a lot more pushy about felony obstruction on Nico if circumstances were a little different, if they hadn't come to us. But the fact of the matter is that they did.
What Luca and I discussed, and I think what we agree with, and I think where you'll kind of be in line with this, Tessa, is that in its essence, felony obstruction occurred, but because he came forward and essentially, at least for Andy's sake, there was a push to have Kleb come, we're sort of in agreement that would, in a way, for lack of a better term, cancel out the felony obstruction. I don't think that's a good way to put it, but would give us a definitive and or solid reason to justify against pushing felony obstruction on at least Andy's sake. Outside of that, though, I don't think we have anyone else we really want to poke at, which brings us back to second degree.
Yeah, at this point, then I guess we issue the warrant.
Yeah.
How do we want to do this? Do we want to issue here's the thing, if we issue a warrant for second degree murder, he's going to get grabbed in, pulled in, treated probably pretty tough by HVTU, stuff like that, right? This guy already turned himself in, and the only reason he's possibly free would be because of the hold expiring before we could get him charged.
Is he already released?
Officially, yes. I would say we write the warrant and we keep trying to contact Kleb, and we just say, hey, if you want to come turn yourself in, we are concluded with our side of the investigation. We can get you properly charged.
Yeah. His homicide confession, the recording of it is now on the report too. So I feel more than comfortable putting the charge of second degree on here and putting it up as a warrant. Do you want me to do that now?
Yes.
Is there any other charges you want to try and articulate with this, like possession of a class 1 firearm or any minor charges on Kleb?
Club to give up the gun. I think
I think,
we should give him the possession.
yeah, we should probably put on some of the minor stuff. He didn't have any other possessions. He just had the gun.
Mhm.
Oh
Okay.
God, what the hell? Is that
Some of that was DOC and one was at the hospital. Hospital seems handled. There's officers there.
yeah, it was code 4. He says Pat and it's code 4 or something on the radio, but DOC just got shot.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, class 1. Let's see. I mean, I don't think we have anything beyond the possession of a class 1 on the 2nd degree. I don't think that we have any sort of evidence of, like tampering with evidence, or he obviously didn't resist, or evade us. He turned himself in. I think it's just 2nd degree murder and the criminal possession of a class 1 firearm, right?
I believe so, unless Tessa, is there anything else you think that we're missing?
I'm looking right now at those possessions.
I'm just discussing with Cross right now in the DOJ chat because he wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything. I do, in a way, think that it would be evidence tampering. Simply because he removed that gun from the scene. But I don't know.
Him producing it to us again. Did he purposely produce it to us again, or was it just on his person when he surrendered himself? Which
he handed it over to me.
Okay. So this is my opinion.
Yeah, I get that.
I would be hard to but I mean, it's I'd say it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. He did leave the murder scene with a murder weapon, regardless if he turned it in. So yeah.
Unfortunately, the other side of this too, just to note in, since we don't have any casings from the scene, it's actually hard to prove if this is actually the gun. Which leaves up the question, do we truly believe that we have what we're looking for, or should we go for a raid on Kleb? Do we even think that's going to be worth our time right now?
I mean, if we don't have casings, there wouldn't even be a point to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if we found other guns in Kleb's apartment, it's the same status as the one he handed us. We don't know if it's actually.
Have we gotten an autopsy report?
Yes, we have an autopsy.
Yeah, we do.
report.
If you
Did
look
they
at,
pull any bullets from the body?
I don't believe so. Let me just do a quick review
I
of
don't
the
remember projectiles though.
Yeah, the one thing that they stressed was how long rigor mortis was set, and that it was, I believe, 3 GSWs to the head. But I don't think that there was anything else in that medical report.
Okay. That would be the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, no, there's no there were no projectiles recovered in the report.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. In this circumstance, do we think we're going for? I don't. This is such a weird question to ask because it should be an obvious answer, but I don't feel like it is. He was in for the hold, but that shouldn't negate the time that he should be serving for the murder, right?
I think we give him the full time.
Okay, I agree too. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't overstepping or being, I don't want to use the word heinous, but you know. I think the full time makes sense. All right. To be fair, he deserves a 72-hour hold for poaching, though. Yeah, I think the context to that video makes more sense. Outside of that, the fact we got the confession and we kind of did our due diligence to what we have.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this up for a warrant. Then it's
yeah, go for it. I'll see if well, I was gonna say if Kleb's around, but
Yeah, we probably should call him and see.
DOC just 13 Alpha though, so I don't
Well, he
know.
may not even be there anymore. We could call his phone and just see if he picks up, I suppose. If he doesn't pick up his phone, then yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm gonna let him know that best case scenario for him right now is that he's actually looking at the best possible outcome, and he has nothing to really stress about outside of what has happened